Although it may seem atypical, Wrigley Field is a place where people escape. It's 3 hours in a metal seat surrounded by 40,000 screaming baseball fans just to potentially watch your team lose, but it's also 3 hours without a care in the world with people from all around the country just to watch the Chicago Cubs play a baseball game. The commute to Wrigley is not an easy one. You either face a packed L train car and a good walk, or a busy expressway just to park in someone's alley or a local middle school parking lot. But there's plenty more for a fan to do than just see a baseball game. You pay for 9 innings, but you get the experience of the culture of the city. Since it is located right in the middle of a north side neighborhood, you are transported to a different world, one where Wrigleyville bars are packed for hours before and after the game. Every apartment has Cubs decor in the windows, and everyone is rooting for their Cubbies. While both Peanuts and Cracker Jacks are definitely baseball classics, and you can absolutely find them both at Wrigley, it's the hot dog you can't miss out on. With yellow mustard, bright green relish, chopped onions, fresh tomato, a long pickle, and sport peppers, and no ketchup, there really is nothing like a Chicago dog at Wrigley. On a hot summer day, you might just be lucky enough to participate in the stacking of the Cup Snake, a long collection of stacked beer cups from everyone around you in the bleachers. One group of fans begins the stacking, and everyone around them will excitedly join in and donate their cups to the cause. If people are invested enough, the snake can make it the entire way up the 20 rows of bleachers. At the beginning of the season in early May, or at the end in late September, you might be bundled from head to toe in down-feathered coats while sipping on hot chocolate watching what seems like the longest 9 innings ever. But when June rolls around, your smallest tank top and a pair of shorts might still be too many articles of clothing as you melt into the hot bleachers. And of course, you should expect a rain delay or two throughout the season. The unpredictability of what the weather will be like sitting in those stands adds just another layer of excitement to the game that is hard to find at other ballparks. Having been to other ballparks, I know how fun it is to see the Cubs play elsewhere. Each stadium has their own aspect that makes them special. Dodger Stadium is the largest in the league, the Giants have McCovey Cove to hit home runs to, and the White Sox encapsulate the energy of the south side of Chicago. But when you walk into Wrigley, you're greeted by a presence that can only be found in this stadium in this city. It's hard to compete with the history and the community that comes with Wrigley. For a long time, Wrigley Field was home to a team that had never won a World Series. Going to watch the Cubs play was more for the experience than the win. It wasn't until 2016, 108 years later, when they were finally able to make it all the way. The whole country held their breath as the Cubs battled the Cleveland Indians for all 7 games in the series, all the way down to the 10th inning of a back-and-forth game in Ohio. Although the final out was not made at Wrigley, the intersection of Addison and Clark still erupted with fans who hopped on the next L train to Wrigleyville to celebrate. Tears were shed, hugs were shared, and rejoices were heard in every neighborhood of Chicago. The celebratory parade that happened that Friday wasn't your typical parade. With over 5 million people in attendance, it became the 7th largest gathering in the history of humankind. People gathered in Grant Park in their new 2016 World Series champions attire to see the city's newest, biggest celebrities hoist their beautiful championship trophy. Yes, it's the Grand Slam walk-offs and the stadium-specific food. Yes, it's the groups of people walking to the stadium together and everyone singing the 7th inning stretch in unison. But there's something more about the game of baseball than what's seen from an outsider's view. There's a balance of the expected and the unexpected. There's always a winner and a loser, but there are an infinite number of combinations on what can happen in those 9 innings. People from all different cultures and backgrounds are able to come together to play and watch the sport. It's not until you see the marquee when you know you've finally made it to the field. It's definitely a staple that both fans and haters from around the country are sure to see when visiting. But it's not the only one. The organ that's as old as the stadium, the outfield wall that gets painted green with ivy every year, and the rooftop seats are all things people take note of when visiting the friendly confines. But the most recognizable aspect is Wrigley's beloved scoreboard. It is almost completely manual, with each window displaying a number on a plate that is placed by one of the operators who sits inside the scoreboard for the duration of the game. Sometimes you can see the operators leaning out of one of the plateless windows to watch the action below. When you are surrounded by so many familiar things, you're able to be transported in time. The early 1900s, the 1950s, the 1980s, and even 2016, all while sitting in the same seats watching the Cubs play some baseball.